Okay, welcome back to episode 11 of CMD World. Today we are going to be going over how to make a password protected folder using a batch file. Now normally I don't really talk during my videos, but I started typing this out and it is a lot of stuff. So I'm just going to kind of talk through this, and I'm not going to walk you through every line of coding because that could take a very long time. So I'm just going to explain to you how the program works. So if you want to do it yourself, you can. And I'll post the coding online if that's really just what you want. You just want to have your own password protected folder and not really looking to learn command prompt. But so let's move on. First, when I make a password program, I think about security, right? Batch files are readable even after they are finished, so we will make, so what we're going to do is going to make sort of a dummy file. And it's not going to have any kind of real coding, and I have one made up. So yeah, basically this is what the dummy file kind of looks like. It's a regular batch file. It has some random commands or just stuff to confuse people if they're looking at the file. But I have a little go-to command. Tells it to go all the way down to this line right here, which opens up the real program. So, if a programmer was trying to hack this, they might figure it out, but they won't be able to find the password right away. They'll be like, where the crap is this file located? And they'll have to figure that out. So, I just talked about that. Next, let's look at the real file. This is a little different than most password programs for extra security. When the files are locked, they are moved to a different directory. There, the name changes and I hide the file. That way, if I do a word search or anything, it's going to be pretty hard for them to find the file. They're going to be, find the folder that has all the stuff you want to hide in it. So, when the program first opens up, it has to check if the folder already exists in the storing directory or the current directory. Because if it does, it doesn't need to create a folder, and it's going to either ask you if you want to lock or unlock the folder. But if it doesn't exist in either one of those, it needs to create a new folder. So that's what this little line is doing. It's asking if, this exists, then go to open. If this exists, go to lock. This one is in the current directory. And if it's not existing, then go to new. New basically uses the md command to make a new folder. We've gone over that in past videos. Lock is what would happen if the folder was existing in the current directory, which means you've already unlocked the folder and you want to put stuff in it. Once you're done putting stuff in it, it's going to ask if you want to lock it. So you click Y and it lock. If you hit no, it'll just exit out of command prompt. And if you also added one in where corrupt. So if you wanted to corrupt the files and not delete them one by one, you could just type in corrupt and then type in your password and it'll delete the entire folder. But let's go on to lock 2. This is basically this is the coding to move personal, the folder, to this directory, and then it's going to rename it personal to Windows 0911435196, and then it's going to hide it with the attribute command, and you can see I used a new name when I did that. So I use this order to make sure that, the user doesn't see a whole lot of this stuff happening, so the user doesn't really know what's going on. If you want to use this program yourself, obviously you're going to have to change the password, you're going to have to change the directory for my coding, because the directory is going to be completely different on your computer. So it clears the screen and says echo, files successfully locked, and so on. To open it, so if the files existed in the storing directory, it would ask you to enter a password, and this does the whole password, checks it with my password which is open. I also have the corrupt little thing in here as well, so you can pretty much corrupt the files from any point. Type in corrupt, but we'll get to that in a minute. Unlock. This basically makes the file so it's not hidden anymore, renames it back to personal, and then moves it back to current directory, and then displays a message saying it's finished unlocking and whatnot. Here's the fail if you were to get the password wrong. You enter your password and you get another chance, and I think I have a fail too. If you mess up on your password 3 times, and I have it set up so it will corrupt the files. So yeah, and that's where it removes the entire folder and deletes it. One thing you might want to do is add a little bit of coding that also removes the folder from your recycling bin, because I forgot to put that in there. It's pretty simple. I'm not sure exactly. Well, I think it'd be something like C users name desktop recycle bin Windows, well, the file name, which is pretty long. I'm not sure if this is exactly the path for recycling bin. You should be able to, if you just go through your directories and browse them, you'll be able to figure it out pretty easily. And then I have the corrupt password part. Basically, this is where you type in corrupt, and any of those parts will come up to this part and ask for a password. And I also have kind of a fail-safe. If you get it wrong so many times, it will just exit out. But you can type cancel if you did not want to, if you decided you didn't want to corrupt it. And here's the actual coding to corrupt. Once again, you'd want to delete from your recycling bin. You'd put that in right there. And yeah, that's pretty much the entire program on how this works. So if you're just wanting to change this up so you can use it on your own computer, you're not interested in the programming part, you really need to just go through and change all the directories to whatever directory you're going to use to store it in, to store the secret folder. And then also you'd want to go through and change all the passwords I already have set, which is open. If you wanted to do it really fast, you'd go up to Edit, Replace, you type in whatever I have now, which is open. Maybe you want your password to be password. Not a very good idea, but say that's what you wanted. Go down, you hit replace all, and my password is now password. See? So that's how that works. There's one more step. I'm not going to save. There is one more step. I know I talked about having the dummy file. The whole point of that is so they can't just go over here, hit enter, and it pops up a notepad, and you can scroll down, look for the password, and type in the password. Or change the password even. The whole point is you have to do this last step. Once you're done messing with the password and whatnot, you have to do this step. Type in cd, desktop, I have this under test, and then attributes, hidden, S, Windows, 0811, just the file name, which I did make really long. The whole point of making it so long is harder to guess and harder to search, harder to find. So just like that, oh, sorry. Did I type it in wrong? 435296. Whoops. That should have worked, and it should work on yours. I did the right thing. Oh, I forgot to type in .bat at the end. You have to put the file extension at the very end, or else obviously it won't work. So yeah, you guys can't really see this very well. Large icons. Windows is kind of faded. I hit refresh, and it's gone. Pretty simple, right? So let's just make this a little bit smaller. That hides it, and you'd have to know that the file is there to be able to look at it again. You can do minus signs in front of the H and the S to make it so it comes back. If I hit edit, I can't find the password. If I was smart enough, I'd know to look for this file, but not everyone knows that. So yeah, it opens up, does this, and then new folder created. My personal folder is created. Click enter again. I would like to lock my folder. File successfully locked. Now I want to unlock it. So I type in open. Files unlocked successfully. And here's my personal folder. It's back. What else is there? Oh, let's do the corrupt. Enter password to corrupt all files. All files successfully corrupted. And all it does is delete your folder. And of course, I don't have it set up to get rid of your files from your recycling bin, so I could just go back into my recycling bin and find it. But you guys get the gist of it. I'm gonna post this. I'll put it in the comments wherever a link on the comments to show you where to go to get the coding for that. But I encourage you guys to try to do it yourself based on what I told you guys. I've taught you guys everything you need to know from the previous videos. That's about it. Don't forget to rate and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Peace out.